Why are we not working? Can you guys hear me now? It looks like I have good levels. Wait for the video to catch up just so I can hear myself here in a second. Why are we not working? There we go. Okay, I just working. Okay. Yeah, we're good now. All right. So, we're going to continue working on Optimus Prime tonight, which is fantastic because I want to get it finished. We're not going to finish it tonight. We're going to do a bunch of custom length wiring tonight. So it's going to be meaning a ton of crimping and cutting wires. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. Let's put this wire away real quick. Okay. Yeah, lots and lots of wiring to do tonight. Trying to figure out what to start with. I think I'm going to start with the hot end assembly. So I went ahead and did that wiring. Oh, excuse me. This thing figured out here. Okay. Tighten that down. A little bit. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, I already have the loom already on here. The hot end is everything is wired up and finished on here. I still need to tighten up the nozzle. That has not been completed yet because there's no power to it. And I went ahead and terminated all the wires right to here inside of the electronics enclosure. I also went ahead and terminated the bed as well to board, come on. And I have some of the fan wires already hooked up just so I know what goes where, because a lot of wires in these builds, so you kind of got to know what you're doing and pay attention. So I do want to take off some of this outer shielding on the extruder motor. It's very thick and in the way. And we're going to go ahead and put an actual JST on the end of this cable because I want it to be able to lock into place. I have noticed issues when you're using DuPonts in these kind of tighter enclosures that these are not going to stay fully seated and they're going to come out, which is never good. So yeah, that's what we're going to go ahead and start working on, that stuff. If you guys have any questions while I'm working on this, please feel free to ask. And hopefully I don't screw much up. I am not a huge fan of crimping cables, but I am a huge fan of a clean build. So if I can get a nice clean electronics enclosure, I like to do that. I don't want to have too much wire in here that's needed. So we're going to peel this back a ways and then we'll shorten this down. Just so there's enough for like a service loop in there. Don't need a whole lot. And then I have a bunch of cables that I'm hanging right now to try and get the kinks out of them a little bit. I should hang some weight on them, but it'll be fine for now. But there's going to be the Y motor, the two Z motors, and the X motor, what we will still need to wire up tonight. A little bit higher here. Just like that, we've got all that wire exposed. Here, that should be better. Hey, Dad's here. Derek, Aaron, Mike, Vince. Derek is asking, you saw I'm using the smaller Raspberry Pis and other builds to run Klipper. Aren't those underpowered for Klipper? No, they are not. So again, you're asking about a Raspberry Pi Zero. So in here is a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, and here is a Raspberry Pi Zero for those that don't know what they look like. And for Klipper, no, Raspberry Pi Zeros are actually a great thing for Klipper because you're not running any cameras or anything else. I have heard people running lighter distros of Klipper, and they are able to actually run a camera, but it is definitely not recommended to run a camera on a Raspberry Pi Zero. No matter what you're running, it's just the actual draw from those is just too much. So I really do like running them on the more compact builds. But for here, a Pi 3 works out well, but if you do want to give Klipper a try, you absolutely can use Raspberry Pi Zero. You gotta figure, the Raspberry Pi Zero still has more processing power than this SKR 1.3 board. They are very powerful mini computers. So don't let the size of it kind of determine what is underpowered or not powered enough. Get out our couple JSTs here. I do have more DuPont and JST cables pins coming. I just ordered some more on Amazon, I think, because I'm getting pretty low on these guys. Hey Jim, how you doing? So I'm also going to change out the connector on the heated bed thermistor because that is meant for a NZ board, and to lock in, it does not lock in properly into this board here. So we're going to redo that as well. Try to keep you guys in the frame here so you can see what's all going on and how I do it. So I'm going to save this connector though because it will be useful for the boards I do have NZs in. I don't have any pins for this one, but just in case I was to break a connector or something, I'm sure I could figure it out. They look to be some type of DuPont, but these are those little locking ones. They're nice, but they don't do well in this board here. Cut it off right at the edge of the pin. Back. Oh, Derek with the 25. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Through. Oh, interesting, Mike. I have not tried a camera at all on Klipper. I hope to at some point, but it just hasn't have any more cameras to try with, and they're not really easy to get right now. It's horrible. Oh, I wasted one. Yeah, because I only have, what, 3 webcams. I have the one on this computer that I stream on. I have the one on the living room VR PC because that's where we call the grandparents at. Out. And then I have the one on the Mark 3S, which is obviously for time lapses on the Mark 3S. Some a little more availability of webcams. I can pick up another C920 and start playing with a webcam on a Klipper. I did buy though some of those Wise cams, and I wanted to try out the one you can update its firmware to make it for like streaming, I guess. And saw that, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks cool." So I want to try that out at some point. Okay, this is thermistor bed. Top guy here. Didn't seat in all the way. Sometimes you got to bend the back of it just a little bit to get it to really bite when you push it into the connector. Sometimes things just want to be difficult. Try that now. That's in there good. Fantastic. All right, we got one cable done. So something else that's easy is we can knock out our extruder heater, which I need to get out the ferrule crimper, which is this guy here. M14, yes, this is a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. This printer will be running on Klipper, so that is why it is in here. Heater zeros right there. Give myself a little bit of extra room. Notice if you don't want to run Klipper, this is still a good way. If you want to run Octoprint, it's a good place to store your Raspberry Pi because it gets actively cooled from the case fan in this enclosure, which is very nice. That way you don't have to have a separate case, you don't have to have a separate fan. But even though 2209s run cooler, it is always a good idea to run some type of cooling on your board. Just to make sure nothing runs amok. Kennedy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Surprised you're able to come join us, take a break from building your 2.4. Two ferrules. Tug test. Turns out those are good. All right, so we're just going to put those maybe up here for a minute, please, maybe? Maybe? No? We have the Pinda we need to hook up. I need to remember how to want to do that one. Okay, here is the extruder thermistor. We'll go to like here. Okay, more JSTs. Just finished it an hour ago. Holy heck, man. You built that quick. Man. I guess the 2.4 is a lot faster than watching everybody else build their V0s. That's awesome, Kennedy. Now you gotta do your serial request, right? Or do you have to tune it in order to get a serial? Or can you just submit now and get your serial? Thermistor wires are so freaking fragile. Afraid to like take them up or something. Oh, Aaron, that's horrible, man. Absolutely horrible. Wiring took 2 days on a 2.4. Jeez Louise. Hey, maybe you need to build something a little easier, like an Optimus Prime or a Megatron. A little easy i3, fun build. Heater now, just to get it done. Need a wee flathead. Oh yeah, because you have a new puppy. I forgot about that. So trying to sort of manage all my cables so nothing gets too tangled. So we're playing Minecraft right now and being goofballs. Way. There we go. That's better. Tug test, all good. Yeah, Mike, I'll definitely have to hit you up when I decide to do the camera just to see how we're able to get everything working. Naim, yeah, I like to keep my cables as neat as possible. These are not that big of cases, to be honest. So there. What is the pinned up pin out? Brown's positive, blue's negative. So that means voltage ground signal, brown blue back, go right here. For now, I'm going to keep that on the DuPont connector in there, right in here. Hard to see that, sorry. But yeah. And then the filament probe I might need to extend because I don't have a whole lot here for that. So they usually do that one to X max. That's what the usual pin out of that is. I'm going to look real quick. What do I have it on? Megatron. That's the same board. Printer, big. Just a probe filament sensor is on pin 1.24. .24 is, that's Z max, but we're going to go ahead and use X max because that is much closer and easier to get to. So take off this gigantic connector. DuPonts. Get the 5-pin away, and we're going to get out a 3-pin. And then this is going to be going voltage ground signal. So voltage ground signal is what it was already. That's easy enough. Voltage being on that side. X max. Just long enough to fit in there. If I have to cut it and put a JST on there, I don't think it will fit very well at all. So, and I'm not hooking up the thermistor of the pin to the V2 probe right now. Maybe at a different time, but right now it's super not necessary. And I don't want to deal with it. These cables are very silly long. These are for the fans. So I think I'm going to actually end up doing these last, and I might end up just cutting them and soldering them because I am running really low on JST pins. I mean, I'm not terribly low, but low enough that I don't know that I want to redo that. And I need to redo some of, I'll have to redo some of the, well, actually I have to redo all of the motor cables because I want those to be much shorter than what they are. So, I think these are my last, these are all female. Oh, these are all male. Yeah. So, I'm gonna have to hope that I even have enough to do what I want to. So that's 2 cables, 3 cables, 4 cables. Okay, I got enough. Yep, I can do it. But I'll do that last though. We are going to go ahead and snip this down. So this is extruder, so X, Y, Z, E. We're just going to give ourselves enough to be able to loop it in there like that. Just going to go right here. Okay. Wires. Okay. Now lots more crimping. Oh, where'd I go? I can't really afford to lose any right now. You want to see good cable management, take a look at Kennedy's Volron build. That is super clean. We get all that cleaned up, all right, buddy. 'Cause enough. Two. Bend pin on this one a little bit. Ah, so I bent it all the way. Too zealous on this one. Shoot. There we go. That one worked. Okay. RAM design. Hello and welcome. Doing a lot of cabling tonight, which I know is super high quality YouTube content, but what I need to work on. get this machine going. Got a 4-pin JST connector, and we're going to go black, green, blue, red. See if that works out for us. Green in there? Yeah, just X, Y, Z, and E right there. Seating in there properly. Feels like we are now. Okay. So there is one cable. And all of my T-slot. Well, these guys just finished off the Mark 3S. So we're going to let this cool for a few minutes, and then those will just release off. So some of these cables are short, and that'll work out well for us, but some of them are not. We're going to use these short ones for Y and this Z motor. X, we'll cut X down, but this should work out for those. Ben D, what's up? How you doing? You can just put this one in here, and up to here. And this is Y, so X and then Y. Not quite getting in there. Okay. That feels better now. Okay, so Y is there. Which will end up folding up in like this. That'll get captured with some T-slot clamps in there. And then I have my other one here for a very short Z motor. Well, the nearby Z motor, I should say. There. And then Z1, this is going to go the actual Z port. So this guy. And the right Z will go into E1. So like that there. one decided to stick a little bit. All right, so here. Oh, Ben, no worries. It's good fun to hang out with folks. Oops, come on. Why don't you lock in place? I need to get like a legit ball head for this. Now, I'm hoping this fits because this said they were for T-slot. Aha, they do fit. Sweet. Some zip ties here. Where's those other ones at? Here. Just go right here, I'd say. Like that. Like that. There's that first Z done. Now we're going to go ahead and turn to here, if I can. Not really, so we'll have to do it on its side here. And we'll go ahead and get this. Ooh, these guys are tricky to get in here. One right here. I'm gonna do one more here. And one in the corner down here. Like that. And we can just line across here a little bit. A couple more. Do back here, right here, to do one more here for the Z motor, right there, and then do one and two here, like that, one more in the corner back here. There, so now we have all of our zip tie points set. Did I break that? No. Drop that one more time. So I can also run that cable, I guess. We can start that one. This one is longer. And these ones, I accidentally printed out the Bear ones, but I forgot the Bear is meant for V-slot, and they don't fit T-slot extrusion at all. So I went ahead and found these remixes of the Bear cable holders, but these were specifically made for T-slot, which is a very good deal. And then this will be the last one here for a little bit. Okay. Now the way we're going to run this is, Mike, how you doing? There we go. I'm going to run this. It's going to end up going here, under the motor, and back up, and then up through here. Just want to make sure we can, but I'm not going to attach it to any of this yet because I am going to be also running the main power from the power supply down here up. Will also be with this cable, and it's going to link up here with the Y as well. But I just want to verify how much we need to do this. Let's see, so we're going to here, here, and then take this up. And this is for bar Z. So we'll cut it right about here. We'll have a little bit of extra we can loop around in there, but should do the trick. Oh, Ryan's here. About time. Thought you went to go hang out with somebody else on this fine Friday evening. Also got to be a little bit careful when you're stripping slightly older cables. The sheathing can come a little bit brittle, the insulation. And you can actually just snip right through your wire, which is not good. You would never. I don't put it past you. Might go hang out with Nero or something. He usually streams Saturdays nowadays. One. This is the most tedious part of any build, is the wiring. I mean, yeah, I could just throw these in. That's the wrong crimper. But I like doing clean wire jobs because it's fun and take pride in it. Gotta tell people, I mean, if you're gonna spend the time to build a custom printer, at least make it look good. Otherwise, what's the point of making a custom printer? Oh, Ryan. Try to bait me into saying him, man. I guarantee he has like a bot that just goes out there, and anytime he comes up, he like gets notified. It's like Voldemort. Say his name, he knows where you are. Okay, see what we're doing. We're doing black, green, blue, red. That's what we're doing. That way, they need to go black down. So, black. blue, and red. And this is Z2. So we're going to get this behind and underneath all these other wires here. Up into here. All the way up to the top. Under those cables. Come on. Freaking head the cable in the way. Okay. Plug this back in. Okay. That is set now. And we need to do, so that's both Z's, Y, and now we need to do X, which is pretty simple and easy. This one I might keep longer just because I don't want to waste more connectors. But we also do need to sleeve this guy. So let me get out my bin of sleeving. Just right here. Just this thin stuff on it. I'm also going to heat shrink this on. And I think this heat shrink that I have, not there anymore. Where did I moved it here? Yep. This stuff here might do the trick. Oh, thank you, Kennedy. So this is one actually that Aaron found on Cults. Then he remodeled it to be able to actually access the SD card slot and the USB port. And then I remodeled the lid here to be able to house a Raspberry Pi 3 or Pi 4, move the fan up to the middle, and I can have two DC to DC converters on there like that. So this one is set to 5 volts, powering the Raspberry Pi. This one is set to 12 volts, and this is powering my extruder fan because that's a nice quiet 12-volt fan. It's a sun-on fan. This will work, but it's worth a shot. I need to expand this a little bit. Find my scissors. Or I might need to use bigger heat shrink tubings. I will grab out a variety here. Oh, Mike, did he? That's I don't pay attention, so I'd be surprised if he did. Well, Ryan, it's because I can't find good 24-volt fans. That's the problem. I still think this is going to be too small for what I want. I used a much bigger one. I think I used this stuff. Is it this one maybe? I actually think it was this one here. This might have been what I used. Cut a piece and we'll find out. So I also need to figure out how long we need to make this. So this goes up to here, like that. And we're gonna go down, around to like there. We just need sleeving to like here. That's all it's gonna be visible. Where's that mark at? There it is. So to here. Oof. Seems like it. I don't know if this is going to crunch down enough. We'll see. Oh, thanks, Jesse. The Y motor mount is custom, but X is what's it called? Oh, Y and Z. Oh, yeah, yeah. So Z is just a remix of the bare ends. I think Aaron did, and they kind of go around and cup on two sides the extrusion, and they mount to the bottom extrusion to give you a little support down there. And holy crap, this little stuff is so hard to get on. Take a minute, get this in here. I have to give credit to Aaron for the Z mounts. I did the Y mount, and then he transformerized it, as we say. Added his the love of chamfers. Almost there. All right, you just like to push the buttons, don't you? He and I have a good night. Love you guys. He and I have an agreement not to talk about each other. Gentleman's agreement, which is fine by me. I don't need his drama on here at all. All right, finally. I got that all done there. So now let's see if we can get this on here. Need the heat gun out. Which I think it's about time to replace. The plastic on it is starting to get a little sticky after all these years. I've had this for 10 or 12 years. It's Drill Master heat gun, but you see the plastic tacky. I think that worked out well. There. Glorious fit. I can easily up into here with it. And again, this one will just keep a little longer. Just slide it in like this baby. It's really hard to get in there. It's super hard to get in there. Okay. So the one thing I think I will do is I'll get the zip ties in here now. It's no problem. It's just, it's annoying to feel, honestly. I'm not a huge sensory person, but it does bug me. I need to tighten these screws down anyways, but I want to get the zip ties installed in here, and it's super hard to do when it's on the printer. Just made it too tight. Okay, there we go. Now to try and, I think before I end up doing that part, I think we will get the, let's get the power supply and switch wired up. That'll be good to do. So, which we have right here, and switch is right here. Dust flying around here. Is that it in there I need? Yeah. So, I think I have sacrificial cable here. Oh no, I used it. I used it on that printer. All right, let's see here. So we just sacrifice another one. Just gonna sacrifice a power cable to get the conductors out of it. We don't need a ton. I do love how like they're not even standard colors. There we go. Yeah, I guess I could use stream beats. I just never, I don't know. Never just set it up. Never know how, like, how loud to play it. people want to hear, don't want to hear. Maybe on another next time I do a wiring video, I will wiring live stream. I'll put some stream beats on or something like that. All right, now we need this away here. I think I had some smaller terminals that I wanted to use up here. Small ones. So we need 3, 4, 5 in total, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe it's 6 actually. Sway. Yeah, I have to look into that, Aaron, because again, I've never tried to like play audio on a stream. So yeah, it's just something I need to kind of figure out. All right, so got ground here. They're both like brown wires. So we're going to use the lighter brown as our ground. That's pretty funny right there. And I need yet another crimper. Line. Aaron, I also didn't realize that you could actually download the StreamBeats files. And be, so we'll do line on here. And then negative. Geyer, what's up, man? Actually, Jesse, everything behind here, that was the wife today. She decided to go full ham on the office. And she dusted and organized all my shelves. So she's trying to help me get everything ready for when we move. But she literally spent the entire day today in here while I was at work. And then these are going to get jumped. So our positive is going to go over to here. We're going to try to keep these jumps shorter. We can. negative is going to here, there. Stay on there. And the only way to make these jump shorter is to solder them. I don't want to solder them. Bent a little bit. There we go, that's better. All right, so we've got positive, negative there. Now we need to run our positive, negative off of here, which is going to go to the power supply. There we go. I need one more. The little guys. For this wire. Thanks, Jesse. I'll let her know. Yeah, she said she's been meaning to come in here for a while and do it. I mean, I clean. I don't dust as much as she does. Tight to get on it first. Up just a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and just cut them to be the same height. Now we're going to put the other terminals on here so we can hook it up to the power supply. I have some small ones here left over. Yes, I do. So 1, 2, and 1. 2 of those ones. We'll use one for ground, and then I've got some of these other ones in here. Nope, not that one. Now we can go ahead and crimp these on. Since the ground and the neutral look similar, I'm going to just black out on the connector just to give myself a bit of a visual cue. That'll work out. The trick is don't clean your office for a few months until she gets annoyed enough to do it herself. That is my trick. We're too far. Okay, and now we need 2 more wires. We need our positive and negative for the 24 volts to get to the board. I'm wondering if this here is long enough. This just might be long enough. Ferrules on that side. Crimp these sides. So, need 2 more of these. Okay, this is going to feed out that hole. This, and then positive negative go on the board, on here. Positive, right? Yep. Okay. Through there. Now we need some screws. Where are they at? We need some M4s. Maybe some black 8mm ones. Should do the trick. I'm gonna push this right off the table, and that would be not a good day. Hey Paul, how you doing? Well, for me, thankfully, Jesse, it's just I hate dusting. So I just didn't dust for a while. I try my best to keep the shelves clean just because so many 3D printers around and whatnot. just a little bit off. See about that one later. We go over here. That's all there, that's over there. Just need to get this other one here to fit a little bit. This hole will need to be adjusted a little bit. Take your time. Actually, I'll dust it right now. We'll just make that hole a little bit bigger. I didn't realize it doesn't match this power supply. Allergic to dusting. See if that lets me get it in there any better. Nope. Let's go a little bit bigger. So close, but yet doesn't quite match up perfectly. If I killed the hole, wondering now if I did that. Might have just molded a little bit. Well, it's in for now. We'll figure it out later. It's not a huge deal. But what you need to do now is lay this up right here. I need to grab some T-nuts. I think we're going to use M5s. I need to secure the top of the power supply to the frame. It is misaligned a little bit. It's just on the edge. Oh, you can't see it now. It's just on the edge. Can't really get a straight enough angle at it, but it is just off to the side here. But yeah, it's fine for now. Whoop. Okay. At least I'm okay with it, and that's really what matters. And that really doesn't need to be too crazy anyways, because this power supply is also held in with 4 bolts on the top, and that is secured to the frame just as well. So as long as it's there, it's not too big of an issue. Now, as every dad in the world should say, that ain't going nowhere. Not at all. But we're secured under here to the frame. We're also secured through it to the frame. We're secured back here. We've got 4 bolts on the top, 3 bolts holding it onto here. This is solid. Very, very much so. And now I can go ahead and I guess we'll do it like this way. Here is easier, right? Yeah, do it like this here. Tight. Might end up regretting using this cable. If I can go underneath here, make that line a little bit shorter. Probably not, because I can't, because there's T-nuts in there. All right, we'll make it work. We will make it work. So, start. Anyway, there we go. All the way around. I should actually put this one under here, like this. That would end up being better for securing it. Also look a little bit better that way, I think. Jesse, maybe I'll do that on Patreon. That's something you guys would like to see. I could do that. Oh, need more zip ties. More zip ties. A bunch more, actually. That cable's not long enough. Son of a gun. If I do that, long enough, I should say. Not at all. All right, well, that was a waste. That was going to be long enough to get me from one side to the other. But it's not, so we need to take that out and find a longer cable. Kim decided to clean a little bit today. She redid most all of it. I also have like 2 boxes of stuff that I need to go through now, apparently. And then I'm short by like 2 inches on this cable. Thought for sure this was going to be long enough. Let me see what else I have here. Would work. Some short stuff. Oh, I can cut down this one here. I like that because it has an XT60 already on it though. What do I have in here that we can use? Ah, this bed cable. So I actually have the bed cable from the BLV bed that I never used. Which is this? This is 16 gauge. Ah, it's plenty. Oh, Jim, thank you. I see you got a couple there. Oh, and a Viking sent something too. Sorry, buddy. Thank you. Down. Ferrules off. And now we've got plenty of wire to do this now. Connectors on him now. Two. There we go. Whoops. All right, so negative is here. Positive is here. Yep. Okay, now we can drop this back down and in. Actually, that's why the holes were misaligned. I wasn't even screwing into the right holes. Whoops. But now, perfectly aligned. Let me get one more M4 out. Didn't think the design was off by that much. Yep, there's two more in the back. That's what I thought. Jesse, don't worry about it, man. I appreciate it. Because, man, I tell you, with all the things you guys help me out with, I can do really cool stuff. Look at that. Now that's how it's supposed to look. It's in here. That's even better than it was before. Okay, now we can go ahead and get this all secured up properly now. Keep this here like that this time. These are super long. Lined in now. Jesse, you also sent me that bed for the FT5 that will end up getting used this fall when I do the FT5 FTV Voron conversion to it. So I'm going to buy a new silicone heater for that printer, one that has a sticky back, because the current one I have does not. And I will definitely be using that awesome 713 maker bed you sent me for that project. Here to do. Snip all these. Okay, we have one more to add in here. These wires here, so 1, 2, and oops, I missed one there. Crap. Jesse, I am sure it'll all end up being well worth it in the end. But I've known lots of people that have gone back to school after doing something for so long, unhappy, decided to make a change. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 of those. They're going to come to here. That. Now, figure out how I want to do this part here now. I think before we're going to do the power last, I've got power here ready to go. I'm going to start cleaning up and getting all these cables into the inside here where all the zip ties are. And that is where I can secure all those. This is going to be a little hard to show as I try and do this, because I'm quite sure my hands are just going to get in the way here. So, the cables, they go out of the way in there and go in there nicely. Those are done there. Here and this one. Even making these cables much shorter, there's still a ton of cable. So I only really left the X long. Everything else is almost exactly as long as it needs to be out of the way. Here, get it underneath this cable and fold it up and stick it in here as well. Like that. 1, 2, 3, there's that. Yep. Let me get that out. One. This guy in here. Making progress here. 2, and finally, 3. There, now that's what that looks like. It's not too bad now, eh? Mike, you're asking what conversion? It is going to be the FTV, it is called. Eddie the engineer is one of the creators, one of the developers of Volron, designer of Volron, I should say. He actually converted his FT5 after watching my video, and he bought one. He converted it to a Volron like 1.6. The files are old, and I'm going to work with him to develop new files and kind of bring it up to date with the current Volron standard 1.8-ish is what it's going to end up being. So, should be a fun build. Okay, only I have left to do is hook in main power here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We'll put some ferrules on here. And then before we close this up, we do need to do the Raspberry Pi to the SKR. I do need to wire that in still after this. Ferrules, we're going to use, I think I'm using black ones on these cables. Yeah, that's good. Yes, he is working on the IDEX. He is slacking behind on it, though, with everything else that he's working on. So, figure out which side's positive and negative this time. Positive is this side. This side. Let's double check that one more time. Positive is there. Negative is there. Okay. Because we all know how I like to fry boards by hooking power in backwards. Let me switch the bed around. Here, I need those pliers real quick. There you are. Now I just want to use some zip ties to tidy up these cables. Did I run out again? Yep. More. That looks much better. Much, much better. Where we're at right now. Viking, I don't know if I said hello. Hello, buddy. How you doing? Good to see you come hang out for a little bit. Need to get some... Did I grab jumpers already? I did not. Oh, I can also put on spool holder. I need to get some jumpers out. Just need 3 of them. These are female to female jumpers. That. Look up the pinout on this real quick, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Adam, it's gonna be Klipper. And hi. I used to have this, I thought I bookmarked this, but I don't think I did. Yes, Adam, I did. Did not shave yet, because one of my kids stole my freaking trimmer. But yeah, I decided to give me a haircut. Is the pinout for this? Right? I don't want to go downstairs and figure out what I did to it on Megatron. I might need to, though. Oh, because I don't remember what the pins are. So I'm going to use the TFT. So that is there. It's the 3 middle. And that is at the top. Receive, transmit, and ground. So retrieve. Oh man, it's so dark. It's so hard to see in there. Receive, transmit, and ground. Okay. And now, let's do a Raspberry Pi 3. Pi pinout. We are going to ground 14 is transmit, so that's receive. So orange is going to that. So orange is going to there. So we're going to skip 1, 2, go to the third one is ground. RX. Oh yeah, just flip it like that. That should work out just well. So we're going to skip power, ground. Like that. Okay, so this should be, whoop, wrong way. So there we have it. We have, we're going off the TFT header, and then we're going down into the GPIO pins. So we have ground, the transmit on the Pi, and then receive, and then we're going receive, transmit, ground. So basically just flip the connector over, plug that in there. That should be it. So this thing should power up, at least. We don't have anything built yet, and I don't want to get into that tonight, I think. Oh, I need to put a, I forgot to put a bolt right there. Get the M5 out real quick. How dare I miss that? T-nut. There we go. Now that's fully secured. And then I need to get a M3 square nut to stick in there. I think we're going to use one of these bigger ones. Maybe they'll hold better in there. Oh man, that came loose. I'll have to get that later. So we need to put this into here. I already put one in there. Whoops. I just need to get a big old M3. I think a 30 fits. Then again, maybe not. Too much stuff on my desk. Can't find a driver. Does work out. Bamsies. That's while we're sitting here, we can do the spool holder. the M5 T-nuts away. 1, 2 of them. So here's the spool holder. $10 on this. Ooh, that's close. Use 8s instead. Right there, I guess. Probably do it below it. Yeah, do it down here. A little bit lower. There's your spool holder right there, and I put all my filament away, I think. Legit, I don't have a spool sitting out right now. Here's one here. It's connected to another printer, but just like that. Goes right in front there. Nice. Super, super nice. I had a bad connector in there. The pin coming out of connector. What are you talking about? Where did you see that at? I mean, I have the you're more observant than I am, Ryan, apparently. The thermistor is not hooked up. So the thermistor is here for the Pinda. I'm not using that. But other than that, oh, right there. Another Z motor. You're right, Ryan. Look at you. That's in. Those are all in. Those are all in. Those are in. Those are in. That's good. That's connected. That's connected. Too bad. Jesse, that would actually be hilarious. Oh, you know what would be cool? A DIY MMU and make the trailer be the spool holder for the MMU filaments. That would be pretty slick. That would actually be quite hilarious. That makes me chuckle. That wasn't too bad. It's not too bad at all, I don't think. Could have went way worse. And now, I think we're ready to put Klipper on it. But again, I'm not really going to go through that tonight. I think that'll be a dedicated stream of its own, installing Klipper on here, and doing the tuning. I can pretty much just use Megatron's config file because the X and Y are the same. Z is only a little bit taller, and I need to change the pin for the filament sensor is going to a different pin, so I'll need to change that on it. But other than that, it should be pretty much just swap it out and go. I'll have to figure out what the E-steps and all that for the Hemera is. Don't know what that is. And I'll probably just end up figuring that out on the Discord with like Kennedy and Jared and Eddie, talking to them just to make sure I get that all correct. But I think it looks pretty slick, guys. What do you think? I think this is a I think this one ends up being pretty sweet looking. Let's see, like this. You know, we've got the Autobot blue from Paramount. We're running the red from Ziltech. And this is the light gray Nintendo from Paramount as well. We've got an E3D Hemera on here, courtesy of Brandon. 5015 part cooling fan. We're using the bare ends. 24 volt power supply. MK52 flex bed. I just got this Alti stick in. I have not used this yet, but I'm willing to try it out here. SKR 1.3 running with a Raspberry Pi 3, so this is going to be running Klipper on it. We're going to run right now headless. No LCD on here right now. I might, since you guys have been donating, I'll probably end up picking up a screen for it. We'll run Klipper screen on it. But for right now, it's going to run headless because I don't need the screen on there right now. But we are going to put the screen on Megatron on Monday. We're going to go ahead and convert Megatron over, I think. Or I'll put it on here. I'm not really terribly decided, and I'm not really terribly against either one of those. I am super low on filament to use to print it out because I'm trying to use up my filament, and the red, I'm not quite sure I have enough to be able to print the LCD holder for this. And I think I would like it to be red, or I could do blue. Since it's down here kind of towards Optimus's feet, the lower half of Optimus is blue. So I could do a blue LCD holder down here for it instead. Maybe we'll do that. I think that might end up being a better use for it right now, since Megatron is running an LDO screen at the current moment. So yeah, maybe that was what Monday will be. Instead of doing Klipper screen on Megatron, maybe we'll just put Klipper screen on here and call it a day. I'm saying the white 2-wire connector at the bottom between boards, bare conductor. There was no bare conductors in there, so, and the only white cable in there was the thermistor that goes up to the top to the board. Adam's around 400 to Marlin. Okay, I need to sit down and watch Eddie's video on how he does the math to convert the E-steps for Klipper, because it's not just cut and dry, and that's the one thing that just need to figure out a little bit better. Just need to sit down and understand the math behind it. That's an M5. These are M3s. You go here. You go here. All right, I'm going to start cleaning up this stuff. If you guys have any questions on the build or anything, please go ahead and ask them, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Ended up not being big enough. Well, so far, I mean, I only have one Decepticon build, which is Megatron. Everything else is an Autobot so far. but I still haven't. I like having the bear as a bear, but I'm just super on the fence on whether or not I'm going to convert that to Klipper or not. If I leave it as Marlin, it's fine. I mean, it's not a huge deal because I'm leaving the Mark III's, my original Mark III's here. That's going to remain Marlin. I'm definitely not changing that. I will look. Someone's saying I've got bare wires in there, so I will. I'm gonna go in and check that in just a second here. Let's get these wires somewhat managed here. Okay, let's look in here. So someone says I'm missing something. Don't want to be that guy. I'm shorted out. What am I missing here? I mean, these are bare connections over here because these are solder joints. The white wires are up here. These are just the connectors there. That's a little tight. I don't know where I'm missing. Again, this white wire here is not going anywhere. These are all ferrules on those. I'm not sure what I'm missing here. Black and white. Oh, here. Oh, I didn't heat treat the negative. Shoot. All right, let me fix that real quick then. Thank you for catching that. I don't know why I didn't heat shrink that. That is a quick fix. In. Heat that up. Find a little piece of heat shrink to use. There. Way while that soldering iron heats up. Piece there. We can use that one. The other thing I do need to purchase when I move is I need to get more small heat shrink. I am running terribly low now on small heat shrink. Which is right, because I bought a pack from, I want to say it was Wish for like $1, like 4 years ago maybe. I'm just now getting through all of those, all that heat shrink tubing, which is kind of crazy. Like, never did I think I would make it through that much heat shrink tubing. the wire bin. For another day, another printer. RAM design. You're saying blue for the LCD mount? Is that what you're saying? So I need that out. Still got lots of the fabric textile sleeve for other builds. Plenty of this. I bought a bunch, and then Jim actually sent me a bunch as well that I've been using in the builds. Where should drop that? This onto there. Maybe. Come on. There we go. And then let's just hit it. Done. Too easy. Thank you for catching that. I don't need to worry about it. If it was only me, I would have shorted something out. Crimpers away. Worry about shorting something out. Air bits now. Save this sacrificial cable now. Want to do another power socket. Need that. I think that about calls it for the night, guys. How long does this take? What are we at? We're at just over 2 hours. Not too bad. Fully wire it. But yeah, so this is the screen mount. This was the test print. I actually modified this. I haven't printed it yet because I actually was gonna do the Klipper screen stream tonight, but forgot. But I think if we go here and I can put Klipper screen right in the middle, so it'll end up looking kind of like this. I do need to modify the things here though to fit in this T slot, but that would be pretty much it right there. And the bed does not hit, which is really cool. So maybe I'll modify this. I'm gonna do that real quick, I guess, since we're just hanging out. Let's see here. Fusion, where are you? Need to make that key a little bit smaller. Or just chamfer it a little bit for the T-slot. Oh, it's for your Core XY mic. I gotcha. Let's see. We need to go to Optimus Prime. Here's the mount. So let's go to here. Here we go. And again, if we're going to do this in blue, we need to make it look blue. We're going to do these translucent matte blue. Like that. That's how it's going to look. And then I need to make, I think I'll just chamfer these. There, and then here, 0.5. We can do 1. I think we'll do 1. That'll help squeeze that in there a little bit better into that T-slot. But yeah, so that's what the screen's going to look like. Save this. Make a... Let's do you and you. Let's make a rigid group. Save this out. We'll go into Optimus and check it out. Lucky Duck, it is more than rigid enough for what an i3 is. I mean, it doesn't separate at all. If you do have concerns, which I have, people have brought up concerns, the easiest thing you can do is just go ahead and drill in the bottom here and do blind joints for the for your uprights. But the uprights are held on, so this one is held on by the Z bracket, the bottom of the power supply mount, and the top clamp of the power supply. The left side is held on by the Z brace, and there is a large corner bracket here in the back. I think it's a 40 by 40 corner bracket, so it's 2 screws in the bottom, 2 screws into the Z brace, or into the Z upright to hold that. Again, if you're ever building this and you feel that that's not enough, then by all means, run a blind, cut a hole, or drill a hole in the bottom of this, and just do a blind joint to pull that together more, and you'll be fine. Oh, Mike, you got a dragon on. I have one. I haven't found a use for it yet. I will one day. I'm going to finally use a mosquito on Hound, and then at some point we'll have to move it. So let's do align this guy to here. And that's what it would look like with the blue screen. I will say there's a lot of blue on here. If I keep it blue, it's my one thing that kind of let me down is how much blue I used on this build. I should have made these ends in red, to be honest, but I didn't. I think that was a mistake. Blue would have looked, or red would have looked much better, but I ran out of red pretty much. So, yeah. Let me change that back to red. See what that looks like again. Red. Save this. Go back to here. Update it. Red. I think red looks better. It gives a little more contrast. Not so much blue at the bottom. Again, I know Optimus bottom is blue, but if I would have made the tops red, that being blue would not be a problem. Logitech, yeah, the right side is clearly the more strong side. Left, not as much. But again, for an i3, a bed flinger, we're not doing crazy speeds here. So there's no force on the front and back swaying of that gantry. It's all up and down. It's all linear and perpendicular to the base, and it's parallel with the actual the force is parallel with it as being up and down or side to side. But because there is the way these are mounted, it mounts in here to this one and it mounts down here, creating its own type of bracket. Then you have this corner bracket here. It is more than enough to hold it in. Now, I am kind of at the higher end of what I would go with this design. If I was doing higher than this, I would end up putting in a metal corner bracket down in here and or doing blind joints. But again, for me, this is perfect. No issues with it at all. At least yet. So I think we're due red on it. I will go through my bin here and see if I have enough red PETG. Really hope I do. And if so, we should be good to go. So then need to export this because I want to try to print it tonight. STL. 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 Why is it 45-degree angle? I don't know. It just is. How much film is this going to take at 20%? Might need to lower this down, or it's a 15% infill. Okay. We need 16 meters of filament. Don't know if I have 16 meters of red. I probably could get away if I do this. We do 3 perimeters, 4 top, and 10% infill. That's more filament. I think 3 perimeters makes it more filament. That's hilarious. Almost 2 meters more. All right, it's 14 meters. That should be good enough. Yeah, so I just need to get that printed and be going from there. Free base rent, housing. Yeah, definitely, Jesse. I mean, again, if it ever became a problem, but so far with Megatron, I have 0 quality issues with that machine. It prints perfectly. Most of the parts for this machine were printed on the Mini and Megatron. Most of the parts for Ultra Magnus were printed on Megatron and the Mark IIIS. So, I mean, I'm having no issues whatsoever with print quality on any of these machines. Yeah, all right. Well, I think I'm going to call it there for the night, guys. That was super fun. Got this done. I will be back tomorrow night with the Saturday night hangout. I don't know, we'll probably work on something. Maybe we'll put Klipper on here tomorrow night. Or because I need to get Klipper on it before I can do Klipper screen. Klipper screen's going to be its own stream. Hopefully one that works this time. I have faith that it kind of will. But with a fresh install, I definitely think it'll be more likely to succeed. Put it that way. Let's see who's pinging me here. Nothing there. Okay, cool. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out. For those of you who donated to the stream, thank you very much. And for the rest of you, if you'd like to contribute to helping me build these machines to show off, consider becoming a patron or using any of the links down below or using any of the affiliate links down there, all which greatly, greatly help out me buy the parts to make all these machines. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a good night.